Happy Thanksgiving, Mr. President. The last time I addressed you, I was here for your birthday. And I hope it was indeed a good birthday for you. But this is Thanksgiving. The first one of these was in 1621. And the pilgrims that came from England, they brought a different Bible than the last one I was holding. They brought one that was more like this. This is a 1599 Geneva Bible. I'll get you a close-up so you can see exactly what that says. 1599 down here in the bottom. This was printed, 22 years before they came and celebrated Thanksgiving, which we celebrate today. Who exactly are we thanking for what we have? Mr. President, I know that you are of the Jewish faith, and you know that Christianity is based in the Jewish faith, and we believe that we are the true continuation of that faith. There'll be a lot of argument for that, but that's what I believe. Jesus was the Jewish Messiah, and he came from the Father, and he came at a specific time. And all things have been ordered by the Father to be done in a specific time. I'm here to talk about Thanksgiving. I'm here to talk about who it is we're here to thank. And from this Bible, the Bible that was brought by the Pilgrims, not the King James. King James started in 1611. They were Puritans. They were Protestant believers. They didn't care for the King James Bible. If they had, they would have brought that with them. But they took this one from Amsterdam, from Geneva, from other places. This was printed in London. But they brought a Geneva Bible with them. And when they prayed to God, they prayed to him in a specific name. And I'm going to show you what that name is in Psalm 68:4 from the Psalter in the back of the Bible. Let's see what it says. Let God arise, and then his foes will turn themselves to flight. His enemies will then run abroad and scatter out of sight. And as the fire doth melt the wax, and the wind blows smoke, so in the presence of the Lord the wicked shall decay. But righteous men before the Lord shall heartily rejoice. They shall be glad and merry all, and cheerful in their voice. Sing praise unto the Lord, who rideth on the sky. Extol the name of HAYAH, our God, and him do magnify. Extol the name of HAYAH, our God, and him do magnify. That's why I'm here. Let's give you a nice close look at this verse. Verse 4, right there. HAYAH, I-A-H, extol the name of HAYAH, and him do magnify. Our God. That same I-A-H is found on 180 Jewish names when written in English, 5 of which are books in the Bible: Jeremiah, Obadiah, Zephaniah, Zechariah, Nehemiah, King Josiah, King Hezekiah. All these names end in the 3 letters of I-A-H, HAYAH. What happened? Why did we lose that? Because the son of King James in 1629 inserted the J into the English language and changed the spelling of I-A-H, HAYAH, to J-A-H. And the pronunciation then became Jah, or Jehovah, or Jehovah. Should never have happened. That king met his end at the block, put to death by his own people in his own land that he had once ruled over because of his error in changing the name of God to something that it was not. He violated Exodus 20 verse 7 and profaned the name of God. He was quite hard on 2 men who published a 1631 Wicked Bible because of a typographical error that they made. And that last man, Barker, I think he lost his license to print, and he died in a poorhouse, a debtor's prison. He was merciless towards them. In the book of James 2:13, I believe, says, those who are merciless shall find no mercy. King Charles I found no mercy from God. 4 years after he was brutal on those men for a typographical error, I believe God exacted the punishment upon him by taking away his place as King of England. We need to know who we're thanking. We need to go back to the Puritan Bible, the Protestant understanding, and tell the world they've been lied to. The name of Jehovah, the name of Jah, the name of Yah is not the name of the God of the Bible. In this Bible, the name of Christ is spelled I-E-S-U-S, and it would be pronounced I-Yesu. And that name does glorify the Father's name, HAYAH, because within I-Yesu is the name HAYAH. And it correlates with those 180 names that all end in HAYAH. And we know they end in HAYAH because we pronounce them all the time. This was the safe place. In Jeremiah 23, verse 25 to 27, Jeremiah states that liars and dreamers have created a dream such to cause God's people to forget his name. This was a problem then. Ahab wouldn't refer to El-HAYAH, Elijah, wouldn't refer to him by name. He chose to call him, O ye troubler of Israel, and he chose to call him, O mine enemy. But he never used his name because Ahab was in disobedience to HAYAH, and he didn't want those words coming out of his mouth. Nebuchadnezzar changed the name of Daniel, Dan-I-L, El being a reference to the Hebrew God. He changed the name of Azariah, HAYAH, again, ending in HAYAH. And in Daniel 4:7, he says why he did this. He says to Daniel, who came before me, who is named Belteshazzar, after my God. They've been hiding the name of God for so many years. The first Christian nation is Armenia. But that's not what they call themselves. They're the Ayastani people of Ayastan. Do you think they named their country after the father HAYAH? I think that they did. But they're not allowed to use that name. Why? Because the name HAYAH is offensive to people who are in the world, and of their father, the devil. The Pharisees that Jesus faced, that I-Yesu faced, he said they were of their father, the devil, in John 8:44. They could trace their bloodline back to Abraham. They knew they were children of Abraham, but he was talking about their spiritual father because they wanted to kill him, and they would have killed him. They wanted to stone him that very day because he said, I tell you, before Abraham was, I am. The I am verb is HAYAH. They had to hear the name of God in order to stone him for blasphemy. Did they hear the name of God when he spoke the HAYAH verb? I don't know. Am I referring to HAYAH the verb or HAYAH the God? Without spelling it out, you can't know the difference. Then they sought stones to stone him. Their reaction to stone Christ for using the verb HAYAH proves that the verb HAYAH and the name HAYAH sound exactly the same. When you go to the table and you thank God, who are you thanking? Are you thanking him by his name, his true name, HAYAH, or are you thanking him by something else? Because something else isn't good enough. Many times in the scriptures he talks about his name. Jesus, I-Yesu, came to glorify his Father, John 12:28, and he said, Father, glorify thy name. And the Father spoke from heaven, and he said, I have glorified it, and I will glorify it again. I believe we're at that time where he is glorifying his name again. Now the next verse says, some heard thunder, while others said a voice spoke to him. Are you hearing thunder alone, or can you hear the voice of God providing the truth through the Holy Spirit by a simple man who's read the truth and wants to show it to you? That's all I have to say. Happy Thanksgiving. HAYAH bless and take care.